TotalFusionPress.com.
Hey, thanks for not letting us down and hanging out here with us today on the Pete O'Shea Show. For you, that's right, for you. Yes, all of you, everybody. We make it for everybody. The Choice Radio Network is for everybody. That's what we're all about. Here to inspire and empower good news all day long in this airwaves. That's all we provide for you is good news. That's all we're trying to do is bring you good news. I'm Pete O'Shea, Wade Williams, and Ivan Miranda is on the board as he always is. We're so honored to have him as our producer every single day. He's the best in the business.
The best producer in the business.
Best.
He best makes, looking, too.
Isn't he?
Ooh.
He's,
I told you I have a thing for Baldy.
I see an office romance. I see something.
No.
You did.
Wives will get together and kill everybody.
All right, never mind. All right, a little while we'll have Pastor Tim Kelly will join us. He's one of our Wednesday regulars. He's from Grace Connection Church here in St. Pete. Always brings with him a message of grace. God's grace is more than sufficient. It's the soothing ointment you need for any pain you're in. Then we'll get a house call from Dr. Tracy Lane. It's a soothing ointment. Yes, you look at me.
It's funny. Speaking of ointment, now that you don't have the beard, you don't have the beard dandruff, so you don't need the ointment.
No,
on your
dude,
beard
I had
anymore.
to totally exfoliate last night because
you?
the dry skin sticks to the little bit of hair that's there now, and it was ridiculous. There was like giant patches of beard dandruffy residue that I had to sit there and exfoliate.
Okay, I got to tell you, now I'm disgusted.
Yeah.
I really am.
Well, you asked.
I shouldn't have brought it up at all. I apologize entirely.
Dude, it's 15 years since my face has seen, like,
do you know what?
Sun.
Today it's better than it was yesterday. I'm starting to accept this.
Because it's starting to grow back in a little bit, that's why.
Well, no, I'm just starting to accept your face.
I'm only allowed to shave once, like a millennium, because I'm not allowed to touch sharp stuff.
Yeah, well, that's by federal law.
Yeah,
actually.
It's federal. It's actually federal law.
Right.
Thank you, President Obama. You know, just I made a couple of jokes, dude, and you send the Secret Service to my house, which, by the way, as I've told you many times, they do not recognize the safe word, which is OW! That's the safe word.
Really?
Right. Yes. Ow! Cut it out.
Oh,
stop it. So then we'll get a house call, too, with Dr. Tracy Lenhart from Peaks of Health Metabolic Medical Center in Largo. But right now, we have a guest with us in studio. I'm so excited that she's here. We've been talking about you all week, as a matter of fact, and we were excited that you were going to be here. Christy Chilton is here with us right now. She is a model, an actress, an entrepreneur. She is a mom. She is so much more, and she's an incredible person, and she joins us here in studio. Christy, thanks so much for being here today.
Oh, thank you for having me.
It's an honor to have you here today. Thank you so much.
Likewise.
We're doing Empowered Women Week. Is what
I
we're
love
doing
that.
Here on the show,
I saw.
And we feel you fit right in with that. Do you feel you fit right in with that?
Yeah. I mean, it's like everything. Well, I don't know. It's the core of my little mission.
Is it really?
Well, it's
what?
not such a little mission.
Well, tell me what is the mission? Tell me your mission.
Well, I have this thing. It's called Femme Mogul, and it's kind of it's my marketing company, but it also has like the clothing line. That a lot of these things are kind of on the back burner as I've tried to do it all at once, and that doesn't. I spread myself too thin that way. But ultimately, Femme Mogul will have a charity that empowers females that are from ages like 7 to 17 in summer workshops and teaches them goal setting and empowers them on, at a younger,
That's essential for young girls.
I don't think
in that
we're
age range from 7 to 17. Girls are meant, or in our society, women are suppressed and they're held back, which is ridiculous. And we in foreign countries it's far worse, but here it happens also, and it's more subtle here.
But it still goes on.
But I think that makes it worse that it's subtle.
Yeah.
Okay, I think
that's
that actually,
a really good point.
Right? It makes it worse. It's more impacting in a negative way to the woman because it's subtly done. Okay, and that is even more disrespectful.
Yeah.
To the woman that it's subtly done. In my opinion, am I getting anywhere close to right?
I think that's a really, really great point. I think that's a great point. I think it makes it harder for women to speak out because it's not as talked about. It's not as obvious, like you're saying. And it's not as expected. So then when it is brought up, people kind of retort. Well, not everybody, but a lot of times people retort back to, like, kind of making jokes about, like, the feminist days and burning brawls. And really, I think we still make $1 less an hour on average. I mean, there's still...
You make 78 cents on the dollar.
Right?
For a woman makes 78 cents on the dollar that every man makes in this country. Okay? which is ridiculous. And the massive employers will tell you, well, we have to account for pregnancy leave and stuff like that. That's baloney.
And there's really not a great package for that with most companies.
No, there isn't a great package for that either.
On another level, though, too, sorry, I didn't mean to kick you, but in the media, I mean, if you go to the grocery store right now at the checkout line and you look at the magazines, if you look at the covers of every female magazine, it's how to be better, how to be more attractive, how to lose weight, how to be pretty. It's never you're good enough. It's never how's your business or what would you like to do with your life.
And it's never how do you want to achieve? How do you want to start a business? How do you want to learn? How do you want to be better at life?
Aside from the sewing, quilting.
And it's not just there in the magazines, but look at what Madison Avenue does when they sell us products, okay? When there's commercials that are on. They always have to have the woman is unbelievably perfect looking, and they accentuate that on purpose, and they let you know unless you look like that, something's wrong with you.
Oh yeah,
that's true.
Okay,
and it's all for a lot.
And people buy into it. Actually, they spend tons of money trying to be that
unattainable.
Yeah, and they're getting all these makeup, and they're even getting surgeries and stuff like that, where it's so unattainable. But you're force-fed that. We're literally being brainwashed into believing.
If you look at every magazine thing, I mean, they're so photoshopped. I actually wrote a blog. It's on my official page or whatever, where I had a photographer who completely over-photoshopped me. I mean, manipulated my face. And, for a minute, it was a long time ago, but I remember feeling like, why would she do that? Do I not look good? I had to check my ego for a minute.
But
and then I got upset.
Of course you did. Because you feel violated at that point. What's the matter with me that had to be done?
Exactly. That was my first thought. And then as I kind of calmed down about it, I'm like, actually, this is pretty ugly and fake and cartoonish. And I don't want to be a part of that, of, an 8-year-old or a more impressionable young girl thinking that this is reality,
So it's not easy in this world to be, both you ladies are pretty ladies, okay?
Well, thank you very much. I was hoping you say that sooner.
Well,
I mean, we work really hard for this, but she's a mom, I'm a mom, look at us.
But again, now to be taken seriously, to be given the chance to be an entrepreneur, to be a thinker, to be somebody who can make a difference, it's harder, and that's ridiculous, isn't it?
It is. I mean, I've tried rationalizing it. You can't really do that. So I've tried to work around it. I've tried fake reading glasses. I've tried fake wedding rings. I've tried, chopping the hair off. I've tried a lot of different things in the past. And, it's just, I think as a woman in general, and I don't want to say that this is for every single situation or every single business or company out there, because that would be wrong. But for the most part, from what I've seen, women just aren't taken as seriously.
All right, so this is going to sound like a stupid question, but I'm curious to know your answer to how you feel about this. Is it more of a blessing or a curse that you're that pretty?
See, I really resonate and associate more with my brain.
Right, that's what I'm saying, though. But that's what makes it a curse. It drives me crazy, right? Because you're known first as a model. Okay, but you're really an entrepreneur and a mom and so many other things.
And sometimes you are treated differently, as you would know.
Yes.
And you don't know why, and you're trying to figure it out.
Why wouldn't we know?
Well, no, I mean, she would know.
You're pretty looking too.
I mean, you're trying to analyze what happened or why did they behave that way, and then someone else outside of the situation will have to come and kind of remind you of perhaps they're jealous or perhaps it was an ulterior motive that... It's just,
but when you look at the arc of your career and your life, your intellect comes in far ahead of your beauty, okay?
I think so.
But yet it's skin deep as to what people are looking at and the way you're perceived. And again, that someone airbrushes you in a magazine, right? The widespread attention you get is for one minuscule part of who you really are. So it makes it harder for everyone to understand. That's why it's so cool that you're trying to empower the young girls and you're trying to show them it's more than just being pretty. It's more than that. Life is more than that.
The Disney cartoons, not that there's anything wrong with them, but, we're raised to believe we have to marry a prince. I mean, and I love marriage. I think marriage is a great idea if in the right circumstances. But I think girls are now they have more empowered princesses, actually, these days. But, when I was growing up, it was just... what husband were you going to have? And, that's it.
Well, I got to be honest with you. It's not that that archetype is also not good for us as men either, because we're not all princes, and even the princes aren't princes.
But it also shows us the wrong image of what a woman should be also. We're not treating women with the same respect they deserve, because, again, even something as benign as that, they're the princess, and we're supposed to bring them, and then we take care of them. And no, they can handle it. They don't need us.
I think there's like the feminine and the masculine, aspects in a relationship. Sure, that everyone's got their own balance of what they like, and I just think that the gender, I don't know.
I'm just saying the women that I know that I'm friends with, that I care about, have a lot of intellect as well. They have a lot of gumption. They're strong. They're smart. They're more than capable. Yes, will we help and support each other? And if you're in a relationship, you support and you help each other. Yes, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is we haven't changed enough. We haven't progressed enough in our mindset so that women have the fair shake they deserve.
No, I agree with you.
But my question is,
me,
I understand what you said, but my question is, where do you think all of that is coming from, though? Because I believe it's so heavy that when you're listening to radio, you're watching television, you're driving your car, the billboards, the magazines, just like you said, when you go grocery shopping, everything out there is coming at you slowly that, hey, did you do this? We can actually give you a boobs job on credit. And you're thinking,
That's how I got my boob job, was on credit. I'm still paying it off.
I was wondering, it doesn't look right, but I knew something was wrong. I mean, it's different.
When you get it on credit, you get what you pay for. One of them, they're not look at Christy going, why did I do this? Why am I here?
The pressure is on.
Go ahead.
The pressure is on, and I'm thinking, at what point as women, though, do we get to, relax and sit back and go, like, you know what, enough is enough? Yeah. Or who calls... Who pulls these strings out there? Is it television? Is it the superstars, so-called superstars? Like, what do you tell your 7-year-old daughter who thinks, oh, I don't have that nice blondie hair, or my skin is not that, whatever it's supposed to look?
I've got to chime in on that because you met my daughter Hannah.
Right.
She is the most beautiful thing in the world to me.
Is.
I look at her and I melt at how gorgeous she is. I mean, just beautiful inside and out. And I tell her, you are the prettiest girl in the whole world. And my wife will sit there and go, hey, listen, she loves her daddy. And she is going to remember, she's going to associate the man in her life with her daddy. So she needs to hear that she's smart. She needs to hear that she is powerful, but above that she's pretty. And I got to remember that because sometimes I just go, because I look at her and the first thing out of my mouth is, she's the most beautiful girl in the whole world. And I have to remember she's also very smart. And she needs to know that she's smart
there
first.
You go. All right, so what were you thinking about what she just said?
Well, I think that I love what your wife told or reminded you of.
Yeah,
I do the same with my boys. I'm like, you're so cute, but yeah. Sorry. No, like what you're saying, where's it coming from, and like some things that you mentioned. I mean, think about Keeping Up with the Kardashians.
Oh God,
please
don't say.
I know. I won't
those
even turn it off.
They're not real people. They're
no,
plastic.
and look, they're famous for nothing, and they sit around. I can't even get started on them.
Right.
But I mean, we have things like that. We have, and I have to admit, there's a Selena Gomez song or two that I like, but all of those little pop singers, they have to do what sells, or they feel they have to do what sells. So they're still, sexing it up. I don't know if that's too overt to say, but, being really seductive and not really just out there with their talent. You know what I mean? Like.
So how do you make it that you have everything the way you want it? You're a mom, you're an entrepreneur, you're a model, you do it. How do you balance it? How do you make it work?
Oh, I'm still working on that.
Really?
I mean, yeah. At first, I was just wanting to conquer Rome in a day, and that's what I've had to learn, and I'm still learning that I can't do that. I was spreading myself too thin, and so that was about a year or two ago, and I was just juggling all the time, and then I kind of felt like my balance got more into my career, and I was happy with it for a while, and I don't regret anything, but after, I don't know, a certain amount of time, I realized it kind of had dipped in a direction that I didn't love. I wasn't getting as much family time. So now I'm at a point where I haven't done as much work as, I did a year ago or the year before that, and that's by choice. I mean, there's still all of the things coming in, but I'm so much more selective about what I'm going to do. And as far as balancing, I just think it's, like the clothing line, for instance, or the charity. I just chip away at those things. I finally came out with a shirt for the first time about I want to say 6 months ago.
Nice.
But yeah.
So in other words,
a juggling act.
I like what you just said that you chip away at it. We all have aspirations, things you want to get done. Earlier today, I was at a meeting where we talked about having a big vision. And I kind of corrected them at the end. I said, you know what, guys, you spend all your time big visioning, you lose what's right in front of you. Okay? And you don't get to get it all done no matter what you do.
No.
And if you just chip away at it, like you just said, and you take one thing at a time and try to be good at it, and then, all right, I've got that now, I can try to do something else. But to balance the job and a business and being a mom, you know, that does require a lot of juggling, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. And so I just kind of see what works and what doesn't. If it doesn't feel like it's working, you know, just kind of fix it. And
Tell us about your children.
Yeah.
I have 2 boys, Benjamin and Christian. Aww. Benjamin will be 8 on June 29th, and Christian just turned 6, March 14th.
Wow.
So, do they understand that their mom's a model and a businesswoman and all that? Do they know that? Or to them, are you just mom?
Well, I'm mommy first, yeah,
right, yeah,
of course. They have seen some of, like, the movies or short films or little scenes. They accidentally saw one right after I was in a car crash. It wasn't too gruesome, but I felt bad. I just kind of assumed they knew, and I didn't know it was going to pop up.
Was that hard for them to handle, to see that?
No, I mean, for a second they were confused, I think, but it was a while ago.
Okay.
But I was able to explain, Mommy's just pretending, and,
right.
you know, I don't show them everything. I do have a running joke. I did a photo shoot as a mermaid once, so now I still have Christian believing that if I go into the ocean, I turn into a mermaid.
That's a good one.
Well, I always wanted to anyway.
Don't mess with Mommy, or I'll turn into a mermaid.
I will turn into a mermaid and turn this car around.
We'll turn this ocean. No, we'll turn this ocean around right now.
Yeah.
Turn this ocean
Oh,
around.
no, I just, it's so cute.
Wow, that is awesome.
Yeah, they're great.
And it's great that, again, they get to understand a little bit of who you are. Not all of it yet, but they get enough, you know.
Yeah,
you know.
I've tried to explain some things to them, but I don't really know. I mean, the biggest thing would just be, like, Mommy's pretending.
Okay,
you know,
one thing to see you acting, because they know what that is, okay? But if I saw if I was 8 years old and my mommy was on the cover of the magazine as the supermodel, okay, I'm going, what?
Yeah, they see pictures. I mean, we have pictures everywhere.
Yeah.
All over. And so, yeah, I'm cautious. I always have been cautious about what image I project.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Which I would have done with or without. But, I mean, especially now with them. And I think, you know, they really only pay attention if I'm like a mermaid or, you know, if I've got some blood on my face from, you know, behind the scenes or something, you know, funky and outrageous.
All right, let's do this. I want to take a break. We come back. We want to talk more with Christy Chilton. This is powerful stuff, guys and girls, especially you ladies out there, especially those of you, again, Hannah and other daughters, your daughters out there. They need to hear what this young lady is saying because she's figured out a way to make this balance work. It's not easy, okay? It's really not. And the world we live in is still not an even world. And it's not fair that it is. It's really not. It's ridiculous that we haven't had a woman president of the United States yet.
Well, just hold on.
Just because it was that woman, I'm not talking about that woman. I'm talking about a woman.
No, I agree.
Okay,
I'm with you.
all right. So I'm talking about a woman. I would never have voted for that woman, the one that was there. But a woman should have been a long time ago.
Well, women should have stepped up earlier.
Long time ago.
Absolutely.
They have the capability. They have the mindset. They have a better temperament, as far as I'm concerned, to handle the job. Okay, it's not even close to right. It's a bloody crime that, again, a woman makes 78 cents for every dollar a man earns. That is absolutely ridiculous, and we need to change it in this world. Just by being who you are and being out there talking about it, you're an advocate for that, Christine. That's important, and that's what we'll talk more about with her when we come right back. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Tell your friends about the Choice Radio Network and download our free app. Then the choice will be with you wherever you go. The Choice Radio Network. We are the choice.
Priority one protection. This is the best way to protect your home with a guy like Mike Snow. What a man of God he is, all right? What a man of integrity he is. On top of that, proudly served our country in the Air Force, has been in this business now for 9 years. Sees this again as a long-term mission that he's on to help families, to make things better, to take care of the family's needs. You're not going to get that in most of the companies that do alarms. He was too polite to say it. I'll say it. They're a bunch of shysters is what they are, okay? All right, and they're no good, a bunch of them, okay? But not this guy. not Mike Snow. No. We've already fallen in love with this guy. This is the best way to protect your home with a guy like Mike Snow. Give them all the information how they can get a hold of you.
Get to me on my website, www.PriorityOneProtection.com. That is the number one. Or you can give me a call on our business line at area code 813-863-1154.
Priority One Protection. Lock in, literally, to what this man is doing because he'll make a difference. He'll give you peace of mind and safety and security for you and your family for generations to come.
Priority One Protection also offers Monotronics monitoring, Alarm.com home automation, personal medical pendant, and professional surveillance camera systems. Visit them today at PriorityOneProtection.com.
We are living in a digital world, and if you or your business is looking to step into this digital world, Greystone Digital Technologies is here to take you there. Greystone Digital Technologies has a highly skilled, experienced staff with 20-plus years of experience designing, engineering, and installing audio, video, and theatrical lighting. Our expertise is second to none. Greystone Digital Technology has helped educational and commercial facilities, boardrooms, recording studios, performing arts centers, and houses of worship reach their digital goals. Let Greystone Digital Technologies put you into the digital world. Contact Greystone today at 1-888-477-2656 or email for further information. info@greystonedigital.net. Don't wait. Call Greystone today.
OG, tell them why you're the Magic Johnson of insurance.
Because I assist families in protecting their legacy.
How do you do that?
When I say I'm Magic Johnson, I put the family as the head coach. So, for example, they could be the Pat Riley, where they come in, where they sit down with me and say, OG, we want you to draw up a play where we want to have something in place for our daughter's college education. We want to have something in place for my husband and wife in the event of the unexpected. And last but not least, we want you to set up something so we can have a nice, comfortable retirement.
OG, how do they get in touch with you?
They can get in contact with me directly by my cell phone number, 407-506-7206, or my email, Oliver, OLIVER.Greg, GRAY, 100@yahoo.com.
You're the man with the master plan, the Magic Johnson of insurance, who brings the
assist to the families to help them leave a legacy.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back. So glad you're with us here on the Pete O'Shea Show. It's for you, right here on the Choice Radio Network. We are Pete O'Shea, Wade Williams, and Ivan Miranda. We have good shows for you all day long. We start out at 6 a.m. With the Perfect Blend. I got called into that show today, Wade. I don't know if you heard about this.
No.
They were scrapping, the three of them. They weren't getting along.
Really?
The two boys were picking on Wanda a little bit.
Oh, Wanda will kick their ass.
And, well, but I get a text, call into the show right now, and I call in, and she's like, well, they're picking on me, make them stop. And I go, Sugar, I know it's you. I knew it was Michael right away. I knew Michael was starting the trouble because he was kept Febrezing her.
Oh, he's Febrezing her?
Yeah,
Why? Why
because they don't let him wear cologne here in the studio because he wears very cheap cologne. It's terrible. So he just brings in Febreze and sprays it all over himself all through the show.
Are you? That's not right.
I know, right? He just he literally Febrezes himself during the shows. Anyways, so I had to put a stop to it and get them to play nice.
It's
together.
A tough job.
Yeah, they're like, look, I'm getting the boss. Like she said, I'm getting the boss. I'm calling Pete. I'm going to get in trouble.
First off, you're not up at 6:30 in the morning.
I know. They woke me up, okay, to get on the air.
Don't they know better than that?
To get me on the air. And then they leave me sitting through the news. They're doing the news. I'm like, wait a second. First call of radio protocol. Screw the outline. Put the boss on the phone first.
Right? Exactly. That's all right.
But it was hilarious watching them
it
fight like little kids. It was really funny. And Wanda, you're right. She'll beat the two of them up with no problem.
Yeah.
Okay? No problem whatsoever. Anyways, we're so glad you're here with us. With Christy Chilton is here with us right now, who is in order. She's a mom. She's an entrepreneur. She's an actress. She's a model. And she's a great person who's trying to help other people, especially young women in that age group from 7 to 17. She's got a clothing line coming out. She's helping charities. She's helping young people to understand their true value and who they are. You know, in the world we live in, that's so superficial. What you're doing right now the impact you're trying to make, and you are making.
Yeah,
that you're making.
It will,
All right? It has a huge value in this world that we live in right now, more than ever, Christy, more than I think you even imagine. When they see somebody like me tell them to have better self-image, it don't mean crap, okay?
Yeah.
It just doesn't, okay? To a young girl's not going to hear it from me. A young boy's not going to hear it from me either because I'm ugly. I'm unattractive,
You're
okay?
nuts. Oh, you know what? You know, you're just fishing.
No, I'm not fishing for content. I'm telling the truth. Let me finish my point.
No, I'm not going to let you because you're being self-deprecating on purpose.
No, I'm
so
not.
that everyone can go, oh, no, Pete, you're very handsome.
Where
was
was it? Nobody said it.
Well, I said it.
You've got good hair. I just keep staring at your hair. That's all I
No,
said
that's not what I was really saying.
looking.
I was being serious. It's not. They're not going to hear it from me.
Right.
Okay? Because I don't have movie star looks like you, the other three of you do. This is the song right now. Right now, it's one of these things is not like the other. Okay? There's three of you and me. Okay? But they're going to hear that better from you. They really are. That's my point.
I mean, someone that's, similar to me or a younger girl or in my,
You are an actress and a model, which is the number one. If you ask a little girl what they want to be, a lot of them are going to say that. Okay, a lot of them are going to say that because again, that's what they see.
I don't know how much I love that either. I don't know.
You don't even know, right? But it's glorified in our world,
It
and so
is,
that's what they want. Okay, but again, you can show them how to do that and still be really, really smart and really, have the full understanding of who you are. That's important. It really is.
No, you're right. I agree with you there.
You know,
so many women who are beautiful. You're graced with naturally good looks. You're a beautiful lady. They automatically think, well, that's my in. That's my niche. That's where I should move forward with that. As opposed to what you've done is you an entrepreneur, a mogul, like those things, a mom, to understand where your priorities lie. And not just just your looks. So that's something to be said for that.
Well, yeah, thank you. No, I mean, I don't think I could have looked at it differently. I mean, obviously all this stuff fades, and this is, beauty is only skin deep, and I think it comes from within. I mean, you can be the most attractive person in the world, and if you have a nasty personality or whatever, it totally ruins it.
Amen.
You just said something now. You're not even sure you like being an actress and a model. What do you mean by that?
No, not that. No, I don't know that I love how glorified it is, and that, most little girls are like, oh, that's what I want to do. I mean, it's cool, and I understand it, but in the same return, I think that would be where empowerment and further education about, different options could be.
Okay. So how do we get people to understand that it's not something to charge at? It's not glorious, that it's not, how do we get people to find that balance to where they want to use their brains also? Yes, they're beautiful and they want to use that sometimes
it's
too.
Leverage.
Yeah, how do you get people to understand how to leverage it properly and utilize your brain? How do you get them to understand that?
Well, it depends on what age group. If they're still in their formative years, it's probably a little bit easier, I think, to break it down. I don't know. It depends on the person, don't you think? Or
I don't think so. I think there's a universal feeling we all have. I think there's a universal something to being human that if they can find another way to relate to it, if they can find another way to balance who they are and put their intellect in equal or further resolve than they do their looks, I think we can break that chain. I think there's been, like we talked about in the first half of this interview, that, Madison Avenue and the magazines and all that kind of force us into thinking that way. But I think someone like you has the capacity and the capability to change that in young people and really alter the course of human history. I really believe that.
Well, okay, so I was thinking, for some reason, still we were on, like, aspiring actresses and models, but women in general, I mean, females in general, yeah, absolutely, I think we could break that. I just think it's going to take, a little more man, or should I say female power, or woman power.
We're about to say manpower.
Manpower.
People, let's go people power. Take some more people power.
More people power.
And it's going to take, the media it's going to take a lot of different factors, I think. But, any step is great in the right direction. And just kind of influencing others to, do the same, pass the message on.
Do you think there's a time in our lifetime where we will see true equality between men and women?
I don't know.
What do you consider true equality?
Well, again, where it's not 78 cents to the dollar, where women have the right to go after any job, and women are in Major League Baseball, and they're the President of the United States, and there are women good enough to play Major League Baseball, by the way. They're not allowed. yet. Okay,
Even
they're
the
that
NFL,
good.
the same
right?
thing.
And they can't be president of the United States. They can't be this. They can't be that. They're getting 78 cents on the dollar. Do we get to a point in our lifetime where it is true and equal for both?
I would hope so. I think even males, like when the gender roles, when we were trying, I think how do I say this? I think at one point the feminist or the female empowerment thing came on a little too strong, and it's caused a bit of arrested development in men, as they're not sure what they're supposed to do, and then the woman's being overly dominant, and it's kind of really throwing off that balance. So, but we also have to have women that are on the same side. We can't, say, okay, we want to make a dollar for dollar, not 8 cents per dollar, but we can't have the same women that are saying they want that, but then not following and, how do I say, sleeping their way to the top still, or using their looks to get ahead, which happens very often.
Right. So that's a very honest look at this. So you're saying everybody's a little bit to blame on this?
I think so. There's a lot of different factors making it happen and keeping it.
I got a mom and a sister and friends and everybody, so as a guy, as I watch this, it irks me, it bothers me that there isn't this real equality. It really isn't fair. It's caveman philosophy that should have been long buried. The same thing with racism, should have been long buried, okay? It's absolutely ridiculous we still live in a world with that. How many more ways do we need to learn that we're all the same? That we breathe the same air, we have the same blood coursing through our veins, we have the same, everything inside of you is the same as everything inside of this guy over here, and so on and so on. And we were sent here by one Creator.
True.
To be together as the body of Christ. When do people get that? I want them to get that.
It is surprising that it's still...
Well, yes, what you said, we're one Creator that created us all, okay? But he did create us different, and he created us different for a reason. Yes. And so equality doesn't mean that you need to put on NFL pads. You know what I mean? Equality is that I respect what you say as much as you respect what I say, and it doesn't matter that you're a woman or a man. Equality is, yes, you deserve to be paid the same for the same job. That completely. But at the same time, if I'm at home and my wife, my wife is about as strong as I am, let's just be honest, but my wife hears a noise, I'm going.
Yeah.
That's my job. My job is to protect my wife and my children. Now, does that make me sexist? Because I'm going to say, let me protect you? What is your opinion on that?
No, I don't think so. Unless you, if your wife was like martial artist, and you're really in any other situation, that would be like the only stipulation. But honestly, I think
she doesn't need to be a martial artist to kick his ass. She can. She's done it many times.
Yes. No, I think that's the instinctual thing to do.
Right.
Right. There's some.
There are some primordial stuff that inside of us that says, as a man, I want to protect my woman. That doesn't make me a sexist person. And like you said that men are getting the wrong signal. And men don't know what their position is sometimes. And so we're like, do we sit back? Do we let our wife? My wife will sit there and start doing groceries on her own. Can I help you? She's like, no, I got this. I'm like, well, but So sometimes I feel like I want to be more of a man for her. But does that make me? Does that make me sexist and make her less of a woman because I want to do that?
I think as long as you're not looking at her that way and in that respect, you know what I mean?
Right.
And the way that you're looking at it seems very awesome.
But how much of that in what you just said is you being a bad person, or is it just conditioning that we've all had for centuries, right? And you can't blame us, for all of us, for the way things are. We want change, but we're also stuck in a cycle that's almost it's unstoppable. Right? And we see incremental change, really, really slow change, okay? Any real change that's going to happen is going to be slow. It just is, because nobody wants change, right? But the needle barely moves, So when it's not your fault that that's the case, I don't think, brother. I think it's just who we're conditioned and how the world is set. It's just the way it is, and it needs to change.
Well, I think if we had more Christy Chiltons. I really do. If we have more,
and what about more
and more Zezes?
And more Zezes.
That's for true. And because they're obviously we're talking to two strong, beautiful women who are capable of doing anything that you want to do, but it's what you want to do.
Yes.
Yes. Because if you want to do something, then by God, go and try to do it. Not because us as a society, not just men, but as a society saying that's what you should do. To prove to me that you're a woman by playing in the NFL. You know what I mean?
No, hold on. Do you mean like as a
Like
to overcompensate?
Right, to overcompensate.
Yeah, no, if you don't want to put on the NFL pads.
Yeah, but if you do, go for it.
But there are women that want to fight on the front line.
Right.
That want to be astronauts, which they're finally getting to be both of those things, okay? That want to play Major League Baseball, okay, that are pretty good. There's some ladies out there that are really good that could do it, all right? There are.
Growing up, my favorite movie was A League of Their Own.
See,
when the men went off to war and they had the few.
And then they did. And they were baseball for a couple of years while we were at war. And they did a really good job. They were really good baseball players, all right? And so there's no reason they can't do, or try at least to do, anything that they want to do. And the world restricts them, and that is wrong in 2017. It's just dead wrong.
I really think that it's okay for... it's okay for a woman to be a woman and a man to be a man. But the only way we're going to have problems, which is, I think that's what we're facing now, is the fact that men, I believe, for whatever reason, are afraid that if they allow women to take on more roles and to do things that they know that women can potentially do, then really there'll be no room or space or need for them. And you see it in a relationship where a woman is more or less like the man. She's the one dating the man, you know? Right. It's the same thing in businesses. The woman is like the boss, you know, but I think we can make it work. But the reason we're having these conflicts is the fact that men are fighting for their positions in this society.
Everybody
to still
fights
be men.
for their position in this society. That's going to happen no matter what. It's a dog-eat-dog world, and you get stuck wearing your milk-bone underwear.
It has to be balanced.
But there is no balance.
But we have to know, as a woman, you have to know that, listen, I'm a woman. Even though I can do this, I have to respect the fact that you're a man, and I don't have to overstep my boundaries.
There it is.
Some women do, and that's when you have the problem.
But again, that line is so hard to find, because there are times when you should overstep your balance because he's done something wrong, or because you need to assert who you are. The lines keep getting blurred, okay, and they disappear. And I said to you the other day, world happens this way. You kick a field goal 50 yards, then they move the goalpost back on you. Now you got to kick it again, and then they move it again, and you never get the chance to consistently kick the same thing, okay? And it doesn't become that way. So we have to start with, like you said, having these two ladies here today and telling us that, you know what, you can be beautiful, but you can also be really smart at the same time. You can make a difference in this world. You can care about other people. You can be an entrepreneur and do all those things and be a mom at the same time. Yeah. So I want you to speak directly to two sets of people for me right now.
Okay.
All right. I want you first to talk to the moms.
The moms?
The moms who have little girls who are home right now, and they are worried to death about their little girl's future, and they're having a hard time balancing how to properly raise, and then again, not even accidentally. Hannah, you're pretty. Okay, but no, tell her she's smart. Okay, he's not doing anything wrong. He's telling his girl that she's pretty. But again, so they're again, the lines are blurring there too with children.
True.
So what do you say to those parents?
Well, I really love what your wife did, Sarah. So I would say that would be one thing. Make sure to, hone in on and recognize their strengths, their inner strengths, and then complement those. I would filter and be aware of what they're consuming media-wise, TV shows, toys even, like there's these Bratz dolls that are very seductive. I don't even know if they have them anymore, but they're very sultry little dolls, like things like that. I would just kind of be aware of what they're involving themselves with and what their so-called role models or idea of a woman or a woman's image should be, is what they're looking at to build that in their formative years.
Okay, good.
And and try to explain things to them and encourage them to.
All right. Now, that you said you wanted to, you're expanding what you do, and you're going to start helping young ladies from the ages of 7 to 17. I can't imagine that there are a lot of them listening right now, because this show is run by two old men who...
One old man.
Dude, you can't even control your own gas, so you
I
qualify.
can't. I've been holding this one all show
long.
long.
As an old man. All right, but anyway, somebody can send them the tape, I guess.
So wrong.
What would you say? What's the number one message you want to give to those young ladies?
That you can do and be and have anything that you want, and not to limit yourself. And not to look at these magazine covers and these TV shows and think that this, idea of perfection exists, because it doesn't. And to learn to love yourself for who you are on the inside, because that's the beauty that will come out.
And the beauty of that is you address that to young ladies, but that's applicable to every human being, what you just said. It really is.
Yeah.
It's applicable to all of us. And all of us suffer with issues of self-worth and how we look and how we fit into this world. What are we here for? Why were we sent here? I think we all struggle with that. And again, if you don't struggle with that, God bless you, but you're in like the 1 percentile of the whole world. But most of us do. And so already it's hard. All right? So you just said find a good role model. Do you consider yourself a role model?
At this point, to my children, I mean, when I...
But you're an entrepreneur and really smart, and you're also a model, and you're also an actor, so you haven't been defined by your beauty.
I'm not very self-aware. Like, I just do my thing.
Okay,
yeah,
that's good, though. That's a good thing you're not that self-aware. Yeah. But you refuse to allow yourself to be defined by your looks, and you have made more out of your life than most people do that rest comfortably on their looks. And you have allowed yourself to stand forward and talk in these interviews and things that you talk about where you're saying, hey, look, there's a problem even within what I do for a living. Okay? That makes you a role model, whether you're aware of it or not. Maybe you're not aware of it, but it does, in fact, Christy, make you a role model.
As of today, we've given you that title. You have a badge now. You are a role model. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, this is like a uniform and
We're
stuff. You got
is there?
Yeah,
do I get a badge?
Cape.
We do.
Cape is better. Cape is so much better.
You get a cape. Yeah,
we have a
it comes
pink
with
and a purple cape.
And you can just walk around going, hi there, I'm a role model.
I'm Christy Chilton.
I did want to be Wonder Woman, so if we could just get it to look like that, I'd be all set.
All right, give them an overview again of what you do, all the things you do. I want them to be able to learn more about you and get to know you better. So I want our listeners to know, give us kind of the overview of Christy, like websites and stuff where they can learn about more what you're doing, things that you're doing where they can kind of plug into you.
Sure. Right now it's, well, if you go to www.theofficialchristychilton.com or FemMogul, which is FEMMEMOGUL.com. Those are two of my websites, and that'll show you a bit of, we've done some product promo, blogging, acting, modeling, charity work, events, and that's about it so far, I think. There's some other stuff in there, I'm sure.
She's very modest. She's very humble.
She's modest.
She's extremely modest.
She's humble.
For what she has to offer and what she's done so far, she's very modest.
Well, there's so much more to come. That's probably
there
I'm never.
There it is.
Yeah, like there's like this much done. I mean,
you're just getting
so
started, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But that's also cool, and that's also what everybody needs to hear, not just the young girls out there. Everybody needs to hear that. You've accomplished quite a lot in your life already, but you're not resting on your laurels. You're not satisfied.
So much more to come.
So much more to come. You got so much of life ahead of you. You're a young lady who still has so much of life ahead of you, and you're not going to say, okay, look what I've already accomplished. I don't need to, have drive or dedication. I think you have more now that you've accomplished a few things.
I've always felt that, God puts a dream, or put a dream in my heart, and I think he puts a dream in everyone's heart. Whether they forget it or they lose it or whatever, they give up on it for a reason. And I don't think he puts it there for you to forget about it or to rest on your laurels and to not achieve it. I think you're meant to do it, even if you just take baby steps every whatever.
Yeah.
What I'm getting at is basically, I lost my point there, but basically I have to go after it. It's something larger than me, and I don't mean to sound weird about that.
No, but you're
it's,
right.
It's something that I am driven to do.
When you were a little kid, did you already know this was going to be what you did for a living, or did you have another dream as a kid?
Well, I was an actor and a model from the time I was 4.5, 5.
Wow.
But I really wanted to be Wonder Woman or Penny with Inspector Gadget. So I was a total tomboy.
I actually bought the invisible plane on eBay from Wonder Woman. I have it. I have the invisible. I bought the invisible plane.
But he can't find it.
I can't find it. I lost it. Dang it. Okay, but you wanted to be.
But I was such a tomboy. My parents kind of put me into the modeling and acting, but I didn't really understand the whole beauty thing and the posing. I still don't like photo shoots. I really don't get it, but whatever. So I think it's maybe that tomboy and not understanding why women weren't, I've never really accepted gender roles completely. So.
Wow. I think the world needs more exposure to who you are as a person so that they get to really see. And I think it will help to break down some of these stereotypes that are out there. I really do. I think what you're about, and your heart and your brain and your capabilities, your desire, like you said, you see that this is bigger than you.
Yeah.
That you have a chance to do something that matters for the next generation and generations to come. That's huge. We don't see enough of that, all right? Especially from people who have accomplished something. And so that's pretty cool. I mean, it's very impressive.
I want to ask you a question. What do you say to aspiring actresses and models out there who are not, or choosing not to have children because they think it's going to mess up their
Their body?
Their body or their career.
Yeah.
Oh, Jiminy Crickets. Number one. Sorry. After my second child, I had
Don't
my...
say that on the radio.
Oh, Jiminy Crickets. Yeah, that's my thing. After I had my second little boy, Christian, within 2 months, through yoga and a bit of cardio daily, my body was so much better and toned than it had been for, like, maybe ever. So it's definitely doable. They can't...
And it's worth it, right? Yeah.
It's like not a...
Yeah.
Absolutely. Oh
Just
my
make sure they know.
gosh.
They make sure they know.
Those are your
Yeah.
biggest
I can't
accomplishments.
believe that people would actually like consider
Well,
not
that-
having children
I
over
know.
that.
Those
I
are your
know.
2 biggest accomplishments. Those are your Academy Awards. Those are the best prizes
gosh,
you could
that's
ever
my
win.
driving force, yeah.
There it is.
There it is.
Absolutely right. All right, we've put all the information about Christy up on our Facebook page so that you can learn more about her and reach into what she's doing, help her what she's doing, and just be inspired by her, because what she's doing does really matter. It is bigger than herself, and she has this heart to serve, and that's what we saw from Eric. We're seeing that from her also. It's impressive in the world that we live in. You're a very impressive young lady.
Thank you.
Okay? Very smart, very talented, great heart, great desire to serve. You're the whole package, you know, and that God bless you. And I see big things for you. The Holy Spirit is telling me right now to tell you that there's a worldwide movement inside of you, okay, with a book and speaking and helping people in conferences and being there for young people. That's what's going to happen in your future. I'm speaking that into the declarative in your life right now, because the Holy Spirit's telling me to tell you that, because that's what's going to happen, young lady.
That would be amazing.
It is.
Thank
It's
you.
going to happen. That's what's going to happen. Okay? Because what you do really matters, and you got the right everything, the heart, the mind, everything to do it, and you are going to do it. You're going to make a tremendous impact on this world. And I do believe people like you are the difference makers that it's going to allow for this true equality that we all desire to happen between men and women.
There's enough of us.
I believe it'll happen in our lifetime, and ladies like you and a lot of ladies that I know are going to be the reason that it happens, and I'm really proud of you. Thank you so much for coming in and being on the show today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Christy Chilton, everybody.
Yeah, Christy Chilton, everybody.
Applause.
Yeah.
There you go. All right, and back at you guys. Thank you so much.
All right, we'll take ourselves a break. The 5 o'clock hour. We got Pastor Tim Kelly. We got Dr. Tracy Lenhart. So all that's still to come in the 5 o'clock hour. We're already on fire. The first 2 hours went flying by. We still got one more to go. Can you believe it? We did 2 hours already.
Really?
Yeah. I know you took a little nap in the middle. Yeah, let's do one more. Let's do it.
Let's go.
All right, we'll take a break. We'll be right back.
Thank you for listening to the Choice Radio Network. All programs heard via the Choice Radio Network's app and website are the sole intellectual property of the Choice Radio Network and its parent company, Greystone Digital Technologies. The opinions expressed by hosts and guests do not necessarily represent those of the Choice Radio Network, Greystone Digital Technologies, or their management. You were given a choice, and you made the right choice. You chose us, the Choice Radio Network, your home for inspiring and empowering music and talk.
Pain Was My Friend tells a powerful, true story of one man's quest for redemption, hope, and a miracle. For nearly 2 decades, debilitating back pain nearly destroyed Pete O'Shea. His life was spiraling out of control, and there was no end in sight. Just before he reached rock bottom, God came to him in a vision and showed him how to find his miracle. Reading this book will help you regain hope and search for your miracle. Pete shares everything, all the ups, all the downs of his years away from God and how the enemy had control of him for way too long. God doesn't cause pain, but he does use it. He commanded Pete to write this book and to be fully transparent in order to inspire and empower others. If you need to forgive someone, if you long to be free from pain, and if you want to believe in miracles, go to TotalFusionPress.com and order your copy of Pain Was My Friend by Pete O'Shea. That's TotalFusionPress.com and order Pain Was My Friend by Pete O'Shea. This book can change your life, and give it as a gift for anyone you truly care about. That's TotalFusionPress.com. That's TotalFusionPress.com. If you long to be free from pain, go to TotalFusionPress.com.
OG, tell them why you're the Magic Johnson of insurance.
Because I assist families in protecting their legacy.
How do you do that?
When I say I'm Magic Johnson, I put the family as the head coach. So, for example, they could be the Pat Riley, where they come in, where they sit down with me and say, OG, we want you to draw up a play where we want to have something in place for our daughter's college education. We want to have something in place for my husband and wife in the event of the unexpected. And last but not least, we want you to set up something so we can have a nice, comfortable retirement.
Oh, gee. How do they get in touch with you?
They can get in contact with me directly by my cell phone number, 407-506-7206, or my email, Oliver, Oliver.Greg, Gray, 100@yahoo.com.
You're the man with the master plan, the Magic Johnson of insurance, who brings the
assist to the families to help them leave a legacy.
Thank you for listening to the Choice Radio Network. All programs heard via the Choice Radio Network's app and website are the sole intellectual property of the Choice Radio Network and its parent company, Greystone Digital Technologies. The opinions expressed by hosts and guests do not necessarily represent those of the Choice Radio Network, Greystone Digital Technologies, or their management. You were given a choice, and you made the right choice. You chose us, the Choice Radio Network, your home for inspiring and empowering music and talk.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back. So glad you're here with us on the Pete O'Shea Show right here for you on the Choice Radio Network. Lilo Mercado, then Paper Jacket, Pastor Tim Kelly here with us now, Dr. Tracy in just a little bit. So it's all happening right here, right now on the Choice Radio Network. I'm Pete. Wade is now taking off with Lilo because they're off to go rehearse. They're shooting a movie here in town tomorrow together.
Wow.
Fury of the Dragon. And our buddy Ivan Rand is on the board. Our dear friend, Pastor Tim Kelly, is here with us right now. So honored to have you here as always on Wednesdays with us, brother. How are you?
From 5 to 5:30. I'm good. It's been a busy few weeks, but it's great to be here.
Good to have you here. Every Wednesday, 5 to 5:30, Grace Connection Church right here in St. Petersburg. Red Sox, you're not doing so well.
We beat the evil empire.
You did.
I call it the benevolent nation. Red Sox Nation beat the evil empire last night. We're one game out of first place. So
it's coming around.
We are. Because CC the hamburger Sabathia.
CC,
and he'll be pitching, and we have a Cy Young Award winner, Rick Porcello, pitching. So hopefully we come.
So when you get a chance to see those games, that's baseball. That's one of the best rivalries in all of sports.
Probably all of sports.
Yeah.
I remember being in England and London one time, and 1 a.m. I'm in London in a hotel, and I'm turning on this London program, and it's the Red Sox Yankees.
Wow.
And they're talking about the rivalry. I mean, they're doing it. The British are doing it, and they don't know what they're talking about. I'm just listening to them. I have no clue because they don't hate the Yankees like I do, and I have to by birth. I would have to. You know, it's a birthright not to like the Yankees. So it's but they were talking about that rivalry, and it's died down a little bit, I think, since we won 3 World Series in the last 10 years. So.
Yeah, probably. Probably something like that, anyway, all right. Now, Hannah Grace home that you're working on, that we've been talking about. Do you have an update for us on where things are at?
Things are doing good. I mean, we're working in St. Petersburg. The homes are in Groveland, and we have this Grace Ranch will be the actual ministry, and on Grace Ranch, 180 acres. As we know, we'll have D&D missionary homes. We're actually putting together like a neighborhood feel for the missionaries. We're getting requests for missionary housing daily, and of course, when we shut down in St. Pete, it was created quite a void in the missionary culture that people have been coming 50 years. So people are excited about getting that part of the ministry back open again over in that area. Beautiful, just on a lake, a campground. It's like a Fort DeSoto Park field there.
I think in the anointing of this, that's important, don't you? Because that was the original vision of D&D Missionary Homes. Yes. So that should really be part of this new vision too, shouldn't it?
Yeah, absolutely should. And that's where really the resources came from when we were able to liquidate the assets of D&D Homes to the county, Pinellas County. That's really, that's where the money came from for us to be able to even begin to start doing all this stuff. So it's only the right thing to do and to keep with the original vision of the original founders of D&D Missionary Homes.
There are needs now as you're getting closer to this, ways that the community can support and walk alongside what you're doing. Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, we'll start with the missionaries. We don't have any housing for them as we speak. We have to create that housing. We have I think it was 18 trailer hookups that are already, the electric, the plumbing's already there. We just don't have the trailers. We don't want to just line them up. We want to give them extra space, stop putting some hedges between them, actually give them some privacy, make a real, like a little mini Mayberry RFD feel out of the whole
like
area.
A village
out of it. and things like that. So we're going to be looking at purchasing used or looking for donations of trailers, 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom, 1-bedroom trailers in decent shape. We have a pretty good crew that can fix things up too, but something that we can put some work into, or brand new, whoever we feel led.
And it'll be a good tax deduction for somebody, and know that they did the right thing to help out. There's a lot of value in it for everybody to do this.
Missionaries from all over the world. I've got emails in the last week, last couple of weeks, I should say, from literally all over the world, of people coming to the States, home for 3 months, 2 months, 1 year, looking for housing, someplace they can go and travel and see family while they're here, raise money, whatever each individual needs are. He had one, just a heartbreaking email from a missionary who's just been beat up on the field, wants to come home and rest and get counseling and for his family and everything, and wanted to know we had any provision for him. I broke my heart that
you don't.
I don't.
But you will. So everybody needs to walk alongside, help out. So if somebody has a trailer, how do they reach you? What should they do?
Probably now, because we're not operational over there, the best way is just to call our church. You can get through our website, graceconnectionchurch.org. All the contact information is there, graceconnectionchurch.org. And they will get me the message, my email, Pastor Kelly at graceconnectionchurch.org. Eventually we'll have Grace Ranch everything, but until we're over there, we don't have that up and running yet.
What else do you need? What are some of the other things that right now are going to really come in handy?
Well, we are getting ready for state licensure, and so that's quite a process. It's about a 6-month process, maybe a little bit longer, depending on what all the different things you got to do. Our buildings are ready. I mean, we have one home already for 8 girls. We have one home that could be ready in 2 weeks for 8